Althea Smith, Intimacy with Jesus YouTube. Today's topic is chicken versus eagle. Everyone wants to be an eagle, but an eagle flies alone. In the middle of the storm, the eagle don't run from the storm. It propels through the storm and fly above the storm. An eagle flies alone. Most of the time, when you see an eagle, he's so far up in the sky, you don't even see him half the time. He's not amongst the chickens. An eagle will choose to fly alone because in that place of loneliness is truly where he's able to build his wings and soar without limitations. When you're a chicken, you have to be on the bottom with other chickens so you can feel comfortable that you're not alone. But to be an eagle, loneliness has to be a home for you. And you're not lonely. You're actually just flying with God. God is a true eagle because he doesn't share his throne with no one else, and he doesn't need anyone else to affirm who he is. And God's goal for us is that he wants us to be eagles, but majority of the world, and I talk about the church and say what you want to say, that I'm mad at church. I'm not mad at church, but a lot of church people are chickens because they want to be in unity, not because the word said to be in unity. They want to be in unity in term, not unity, but be in a group with a bunch of people because they can't handle being alone. They can't handle standing on the truth without having at least 5, 6, 7, 8 people solidifying what they're saying. Most people, the journey of loneliness is a fear for them. So to belong to a group and to feel that you have people that you can talk with and people that can say yes to you, that can okay you, that can justify what you say, that makes you feel comfortable. So you choose to live a life of being a chicken, and then you use scriptures to justify it. Paul talks about the brethren and his fellows, but internally, Saul, was a eagle. Because if all hell breaks loose, he's gonna stand alone because he is an eagle. It's great to have friendship, it's great to have fellowship, it's great to be in a body of believers, but you want to be in that place that if you are not in a body of believers, if you have no one around you with the faith that you have, and all hell is breaking loose in your life, and you don't have nothing going for you, can you still stand and not compromise? And I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about standing on your truth. If God has revealed himself to you, you know God is with you, and what you're saying doesn't match up with a bunch of other people, it's okay to be alone, because that's what egos do. Now, we are social beings, and God made us to be that way. But first and foremost, we must be whole before we can truly enjoy the benefit of true socialization. Okay? So, my point is that we can go in the Bible and read a bunch of scriptures and justify being a chicken, hanging out with a bunch of other people, being on social media, having tons of friends. All that is babysitting. That's God babysitting us. Eagles don't need that. But if you need that, you're a chicken. So self-evaluate. I can tell you that, God has told me from the day I got saved that my revelation in him, the seed that he deposited in me, it literally kind of supersedes what people are seeing. I'm a visionary, but everything God has told me, the reason that I've suffered, because I didn't believe what God was saying to me, because I'm like, I'm a new believer, I'm just from the fashion business, who am I? But God is like, I gave you bigger eyes, I gave you eyes to see past where everyone is. And then the reason that I've broken myself down is because I've lowered myself to walk with chickens. I've lowered myself to be accepted by chickens. I've lowered myself and bound myself and compromised myself to be in fellowship with chickens, chicken mindset people who just want to be married, just want to have kids, just want to have a good job, just want to pay their bills, just want everything comfortable, just want to make sure they have their groups, their friends, people agreeing with them, people okaying them, just the socialization of us depending on others to solidify our comfort in this world. But God wanted me to be an ego, and the truth, I didn't even understand what God was saying to me because I doubted who I was, because I was coming into an existing church that they were saved years before me. So I'm thinking, what God is saying to me, it must be me. I must be misunderstanding it. But I was an ego, and you Pentecostals that I've been fellowship with saw that I was an ego. The sad part is I didn't know I was an ego, and I bow to you. I seek fellowship and agreement from you to solidify myself, instead of knowing that before I came to church, I met Jesus. Before I came into the church, I met Jesus outside of the church. I didn't meet Jesus in the church. So why would you go to church and bow? Because the reason I did that, because I thought like they knew that I thought they were egos. I thought they had a revelation of God that I didn't have. But I didn't realize that God deposited something greater in me. And I would say my biggest failure is not agreeing with what God has always told me from I was a child, that I was an ego. I was a visionary. And how I failed God is I put my heart into church people, into pastors, thinking that they were greater, or they had the greater revelation, or they have a greater understanding of God and the Word, to fall flat on my face and realize the truth was in me the whole time. Follow what God placed in me, Althea, and not follow man. And that's how I failed in the last 20 years in my life, is that I took the word of man over what God was saying. Eagles fly alone. If you have to find your truth the way God made you to be. I'm sorry, Pentecostals, but I tried the Pentecostal route. I had no peace. You criticize me, you judge me, you're critical. I went to a church. I thought that they were more knowledgeable and greater and had a greater desire for God, and there's a lot of things I didn't understand in the church world, that a lot of people go to church and they say they love God, but they have an average mindset. They have a chicken mindset, and they just want to belong. Where and I'm sure other people can agree with this in their own life, I wanted Jesus. I wanted everything the Bible spoke about. I actually believed the Bible and wanted to experience God the way that the people in the Bible experienced God. But my biggest failure was that I didn't believe in who I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was in me. This generation, this society, it makes you think that if you have a lot of following, that you are truly successful and God is with you. But Jesus didn't have a lot of following. When Jesus was preaching, there's times like 7, 8, 900, 1,000 people was following him and wanted to be a part of his world. But when he opened his mouth and he was speaking revelation that they did not understand, 700 of them walked away and the 12 left. And we know that one of the 12 betrayed Jesus. So truly, Jesus only had 11 people that truly followed him. And that's the mindset that God wants me to have. He said the eagle is alone because he can't find others to soar as high as he's soaring. And the chickens on the bottom, they're eating the worms and they're eating the stuff on the bottom, and there's a lot of chickens around them, and they have a coop where they know where they're going to sleep, and they know where they're going to eat, and they know where they're going to get up, and it's a comfortable life. And most average people will choose that route because they think, oh, I'm successful because I have a lot of likes. Oh, I'm successful because I have a lot of following. Oh, I'm successful because of this, because of that. But truly, that's a weakness, because you need those things to really believe in who you are. A lot of times we need a job to where are we getting our strength from? A lot of us, we're getting our strength from money in the bank. We get our strength from having a secure job. We get our strength from having friends. We get our strength from having a home. We get our strength from having a family. We get our strength from having a normal life. But God did not call us to have a normal life. And yes, it's hard not to have a normal life. But some of the people that we're judging, some of the homeless people, they're egos, because they don't need these things to comfort them, to keep them alive and keep them as humans. So all the chickens are always talking. The chickens talk a lot. Chickens talk a lot. And chickens have a lot around them. Chickens have a lot of family and people and friends and things, and we have to go here, we have to go there, because you need people. You need these things to keep you happy. True eagles, they just extend their wings and they just fly so high that we think they're gone. We think they're like they don't exist, but they are truly in a place that we don't even know of. So I'm calling you to evaluate yourself. If you're a chicken, if you seek for comfort, if you seek for likes, if you seek for friends, if you seek for, to have a job, to have money coming in, all these are comforts and they're great. And yes, it's easier to be a chicken. It's easier. But God has put me on this ego path. And I'm telling you, I have not had any of those things that make people comfortable. I thank God I have my health. But what's the sense of having your health and don't have any money, or don't have any friends, or don't have any people that can truly follow you? Because people judge you based upon the stuff you have. If your stuff is flowing, they'll flow. But if your stuff is not flowing, or God is not with you, or you're not getting the blessings, the blessings are not tangible. The true blessings of God are internal. And God wants us in that place where we are mountains. We are like rocks. We're solid. We don't need nothing. Paul said, I am content in all states. If God removes everything, can you still be content? If you lose your money, your friends, your family, a secure job, a secure place to rest your head, if you lose your health, can we find our strength in God? It's not easy being an eagle, but you have to be on that journey with God, and He has to take you through it, because you can't position yourself on the earth, and you can't process yourself to be an eagle on your own. That's something God has to do. And He's had me on this wholeness journey, this eagle flying journey, and most of my depression and my stress and my mental breakdown was because I didn't know who I was. I didn't value what God placed in me. And I look around for people to agree with me, and they didn't. So I doubt myself. I've spent the last 20 years in rejection. I've gotten no from God almost my whole life. Everything I've desired, everything I've worked for, He's let someone else have it. Because He said, I don't want you to build your strength on what I give you. I want you to build your strength on who I am in you. And that's where I fail. I was a chicken because I was looking for exterior things to define my internal position in God. Eagles just know God is with them. Eagles know who they are. Eagles don't need anyone around them or stuff around them for them to fly. Eagles don't need people to agree with them. Eagles don't need any of the stuff, but chickens do. And we look at the chickens and we think they're more successful. because we don't know who we are. I'm trying to walk in my true destiny, which is not positions on earth, it's positions in God, to be a true eagle. All this time, I'm seeking to get a successful business, a successful marriage, a successful ministry, have a strong group of friends that I can trust in. And the whole time, God has refrained those things from me, not because He don't think I need it or it's not good for me, because He wanted me to be an eagle. He wanted my strength and my confidence to be solid rock in Him, not in anything other than that. Because then you're a chicken. Chicken depend on things to survive. Eagles don't. Eagles will soar through any circumstances and any situation, no matter what. And all this time, because I needed money, because I wanted a secure place to live, because I wanted a church, because I wanted friends, because I wanted to belong, because I wanted, to be successful, because I wanted to be respected, I missed the mark of the higher calling in Jesus. And that is to be whole, to be an eagle, to be rooted and grounded in God. That's what God has been trying to give us and give Althea all these years. And the journey is not something that weak-minded person can walk on. But if God deems you fit, if God deems you with that internal strength, that internal fortitude to be able to survive the wholeness journey, because it's a hard journey and only few. The Bible says it's a narrow path. And I'm giving you something tough today. You can have the Holy Ghost. You can speak in tongues every Sunday. You can be the main speaker at every event. You can be a pastor or a pastor's child or affiliated people that get to sit on the pulpit and get to be recognized. And yes, you will get to heaven. But if you're not an eagle, if you don't get to that place of true wholeness, you are not walking in your purpose. And if we need things to solidify that we're blessed, you're not an eagle, you're not whole. I just want you for a second to just be silent. And I want you to, for a second, to consider, if God takes my money, if God takes my job, if I don't have a place to put my head, if I have no friends, if my family abandoned me, if people think I'm crazy, if I have no friends on social media, if no one ever speaks to me, if I don't have a job and I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills, will I still be confident? Will I still hold my head up? Will I still stand strong on the earth? Will I still be that person that I am today? Evaluate yourself. Look within. I'm telling you, I am not lying to you. I've been on this journey for 20 years. And I can tell you, since 2001, all those things that everyone has in the world to keep them confident, except for my health. I lost my health for a couple of years, maybe 8 or 9 years. I was in level 3 depression, and I didn't have my health. But God has restored my health. And who knows, tomorrow I can get sick and die. That's possible, you guys, because anything can happen. But I haven't been able to have any of the things that all you guys have. It looks like it because I'm a designer and God put me in different places. But I haven't had rest. I haven't had true friends. I have maybe one or two, maybe one. My family, they don't believe anything I say. Jobs don't want me because I don't fit. When you have an ego spirit, people don't want to give you nothing. People just want to get or take from you. And that's how it's been for me. All this time, I didn't know who I was. Other people saw it. Other people fought it with every inch of their soul. They fought me. Everywhere I went, it was a fight. Because they saw who I was, an ego. But mentally, I let the last 20 years of church people and the world breaking me down, fighting who I was, trying to convince me that I'm not who God say I am. And I let that define me and doubt being an ego. Because before I was saved, I knew I was an ego. After I got saved, and the mistreatment and the people I admired and the people that I thought were so amazing, and to see them being chickens was devastating to me. And they can justify themselves because yes, you're married, yes, you have kids, yes, you have a ministry, yes, you have friends, yes, you have a social life, yes, you get to travel. All those comfort things of the world. But you're still a chicken. And we need to evaluate ourselves. Are you a chicken, truly, or are you an ego? If it's all taken away from you, not in a pretty way, in the nastiest way possible, can you still stand for God? Can you still hold your head up? Can you still survive? And God wants us to be egos, or to at least be on the passage and the journey trying to be an ego. But we need to stop settling to be a chicken. And I understand settling to be a chicken. I understand that's a safe place. It's a comfortable place. It's a decent place. You can work with being a chicken. But the impossible is for you to soar internally to be an ego. That means that you have to deny everything around you and to be able to stand strong and follow God and follow the sky and just soar. I'm slowly coming to that place where I don't money, status, fame, success, comfort don't put me in a position to compromise myself. And if no one ever recognized who I am in this world and what I came in this world to do and the example I am in the earth, if no one recognized that, God does, because he made me. And not every person that's a world changer is on the stage, is famous, is in the science book or the textbook or the social studies book. Some of the greatest people among us are unknown. And that's the place that God wants me to be comfortable with. That Althea, I've used you to transform this earth, to bring something beautiful to this earth. And they have destroyed you, judged you, beat you up, criticized you. And that's what they did to my son. Because chickens think they are there because of all of the comforts around them. So they build their confidence from that. But today, I have to come to that place to accept being an eagle, accept flying high, accept being alone, accept not having the things that identify me as social acceptable, just to be an eagle. I can't run from my purpose, because that's my purpose, is to rise and walk in the power and the confidence that God created me to be. And not let chickens bring me down to where they're at so they can feel more comfortable. God bless you. There's two paths, a chicken path or an ego path. You can choose to be oblivious or you can choose to walk in truth. The oblivious path is the path of a chicken, and you tell yourself the things that makes you comfortable. But the path of an ego, the truth is presented before you, and you have to accept the truth and let that define you. and not run from truth, but to face truth head on. And most people, they choose to be a chicken because it's more comfortable, and lying to themselves about what they're supposed to be and what the world really is and who God is. They lie to themselves so they can feel better. God is real. He is in total control, and the things in our life defines if he can trust us to be a chicken or trust us to be an eagle. And I tell people all the time, God tells me there's few people that have suffered the way Althea suffered. And because you know Althea, you won't respect Althea. But James, who was Jesus' brother, did not respect Jesus until years after Jesus' death. But Jesus is victorious because he knew his purpose. He walked in his destiny. And none of that had anything to do with material gains, worldly comfort, a job, a family, kids, friends. None of that. Anything of Jesus had nothing to do with the worldly things. Everything Jesus was a mental positioning of who he is, and he knew, and he didn't need no one to follow him to let him know who he was. He didn't have to belong anywhere, and he was not controlled by man. And I think one of the reasons that humans are not as into me, because Althea does not follow man, and Althea will stand strong for what she believes in, and Althea will get up and walk if she needs to. And yes, my life look crazy, and yes, you look like you're more successful, but being an eagle, you have to know that you know that you know. And it's not about how many people is beside you in your church, how many people is around you, because eagles fly alone. God bless you. I love you. This is my purpose. This is my destiny, to fully come into the purpose God created me, which is to be a light in the earth, to be someone with a good heart that has good intentions towards people and the world, and to accept what the world has done to me and how broken people have mistreated me. But if I can, my goal now is to hold my head up, don't compromise for no money, for no job, for no people, for no friends, for no likes. If you don't like me, I don't care. If you don't click on my videos, I don't care. Because I'm an eagle, and I'm not going to let chickens identify me. And that's where I went wrong in my Christian journey. I let the Pentecostal chickens, the family, the friends, the people around me, let me doubt the person I am in God. I am an eagle. You know I'm an eagle, and I know I'm an eagle. Now I'm learning to know I'm an eagle. People see us greater than we see ourselves. People don't fight what they're not threatened by. If I die tomorrow, I pray God for a decent death. But I know God is with me. I know I'm favored. And I know I'm called to be a light in this earth. And yes, I don't have the things that you have anymore. So, I can't go to the events, and I can't do the things that you guys do. And I don't have the millions of friends and things of that nature. But eagles don't need that. But my head is still up. I still got power and confidence that everyone wants from me and want to steal from me. So I have something that the world wants. And I need to know that. I am an eagle, and you can be an eagle today. It's going to be a lonely journey. It's going to be a torturous journey. It's going to be painful. But when you get to that true place of freedom, the things of this earth will go strangely dim in the light of his glory and his grace. God is calling us to be eagles. Fly, fly, fly. God bless you.